have to do the dishes, have to do the laundry, have to get ready, I gotta shower, to do my hair. What do I want to wear? What time is it? I have to script, I gotta shower. Should I start with cleaning? I have to do the laundry. I have so much to do. What do I want to wear? When's he coming home? What time is it? I have to take the dog out. There's so much to do. I have to script. I have so much to do. I have to clean the bathroom. I have to do the laundry. What time is it? I have to feed the fish. There's so much to do. I have to take the dog out. I gotta record. What time is it? I have to do the dishes. There's so much to do. Just get up. What time is it? Start with cleaning? Maybe I'll get to it later. What's up, lunatics? And today we are talking about executive dysfunction. Now, the source that I used was the Cleveland Clinic, which will be linked down below. But I wanted to talk about this because we've seen the term executive dysfunction thrown around a lot on the internet. At least I have. But what does it mean? According to the Cleveland Clinic, executive dysfunction is a behavioral symptom that disrupts a person's ability to manage their own thoughts, emotions, and actions. But what are executive functions? Executive functions are working memory, cognitive flexibility, and inhibition control. Working memory is stuff that you're doing right now, aka like while you're watching this video, are you scrolling on your phone? Are you eating your lunch? Or, what people normally do when they watch YouTube. Not a lot of people are actually paying attention, which is fair. Cognitive flexibility, how well you can adapt to certain things, like a change in schedule. Do you freak out? Does it throw a wrench in your whole day? And then there's two parts to inhibition control: behavior control and interference control. Behavior control is keeping yourself from doing things that you know you shouldn't be doing, like talking in a movie theater. And interference control is managing your own thoughts, like focusing on doing chores that you don't really want to do instead of going out and doing something that you might want to do more. There are also higher levels of executive functioning, like planning and reasoning and problem solving. So what causes executive dysfunction? Because it is just a symptom. It's not its own separate thing. And so every reasoning could be different for everybody. Executive dysfunction could stem from conditions like addiction, autism, OCD, schizophrenia, depression, ADHD, stuff like that. But it can also come from brain damage and degenerative diseases like Alzheimer's and brain tumors and epilepsy, carbon monoxide poisoning, and even stroke. Now, because the reasoning for executive dysfunction varies from person to person, obviously it's best to talk to your doctor to see what solution works better for you. Like, carbon monoxide isn't going to have the same care plan as somebody with depression. Obviously, you'd want to leave that situation rather than start on antidepressants. Now, I know a lot of people, especially people my age, don't have health insurance. They don't have the money to go see a doctor or to go talk to a doctor, figure out what's working for them. So what do? The people who don't have the time or money. Obviously, like I said, varies from person to person. But if you think that it's stemming from something like depression or ADHD or something like that, there's a few ways that you can try to mediate that. So I'm going to share some things that I do to help me try to get out of executive dysfunction. One of the things being structure. Right now, I mentioned in my last video, I don't have a job. Obviously, it's easy to have deadlines and stuff that you need to do. Like, if you don't do this, you're going to get fired from your job. Obviously, we're going to have to get up and go to work in the morning. But with people like me, it's really easy to just sit down and stay down. So what do? I give myself time limits, alarms, like whenever my boyfriend goes to work, I start doing things and then I finish up when he's done. I give myself a semblance of a work schedule almost. Before I started doing that, I have certain things that I do every morning. Like I do the dishes every morning. Even if I can't physically try and stay and do the whole load of dishes, I'm just having a really, really bad day, just wash all the spoons first, and then maybe you'll see if you feel like continuing. Or if you don't, at least all your spoons are washed. I've heard of some people setting screen times, like their phone shutting off at certain hours to keep them on task. Some people have designated workspaces, like spaces where their outside factors, like their phones or their TVs, maybe their roommates or pets, something that's overstimulating and they can't get in the headspace to do certain work. They have specific spaces for that. I apologize for the light changing, the sun is setting. I even have designated cups for like my fun little drinks when I'm supposed to be doing specific tasks. Like I have a mug for when I want tea and I'm supposed to be going to sleep, and I have a specific mug for coffee when I want to wake up. I also have this cup that my buddy Carter gifted me, and I started using it for when I'm supposed to be doing stuff for my recordings. Shout out my buddy Carter. He also said that I should start using more sound effects and red arrows. So this is for you and everybody else who stopped paying attention at this point. If you're watching this and it's relatable to you on some degree, do more research. I'm not a doctor. I can't tell you what your root cause might be. But I know that if you're feeling painfully aware that you're supposed to be doing something and you know the consequences that are going to happen if you don't do them, and you just can't seem to move, even if it's hurting you, even if you want to do the thing. Like sometimes when I want to go record, I just think of so much stuff that I have to do that I don't do any of it. It's not laziness. Sometimes there's other factors hindering your executive functions. If you're watching this video and you're still not sure what you're dealing with, if this really relates to you, there's a difference between procrastination and executive dysfunction. Procrastination, you're making the cognitive choice to not do the thing just because you don't really feel like it. Like you don't really want to work on a school project, you don't really care about the consequences, and you're not really worried about it. People with executive dysfunction issues are painfully aware of what's going on. They want to do the thing. They're aware of the consequences and they're worried about them. But it's like everything all at once. Like I'll look at the clock and I'll think I have an hour to do this one thing, but oh no, it's only an hour and I have to do the dishes. But I also have to wipe down the counter before I do the dishes, and it's just like one thing after another until it becomes too much that I end up not doing it. And if that resonates with you, you should probably see a doctor. Now, little announcement. I did mention in this video that I do have a boyfriend, and surprise, I guess. I at least made a script for an update video about what's been going on the past 7 months. That is finished, and I do want to record it. However, let me know if you want to see it. Because I know my mom, hi mom, she watches these videos and she says that nobody wants to see it because nobody wants to read somebody else's diary. Yeah. So I'm going to actually record that after this one, and it'll be up soonish, but I will be wearing the same clothes. So if you're seeing both videos, and you should see both videos if I upload it, that's why. I'm not dirty, I swear. This is like 15 minutes apart. Not even. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I love you all to the moon and back.